hello, gorgeous human beings of the Magic on Legs Masterclass. How are you feeling? Day 4, the day before last, and we're really gonna dive deep today. This is going to be one that rocks the boat of our lives. So when you're coming on live, let me know how you're feeling. Are you caught up with the masterclass so far? What is the vibe? Good morning, hello. Now this has been so exciting for me. There have been so many new women enter the Alpha Femme world. Amazing messages of new people who are just so grateful to have found the brand. It really makes a difference. Today is a big one. Because there's something that happens in our lives is we want to make a change. We want to do something big. We want to do something different with our lives. But we look at it like it's something on our to-do list. And tell me if this resonates with you. You'll say like, this year, I want to, become financially free, for example. So I want to be financially free. That is what I want this year. I'm going to do this. And then on the list, there's also something like throw out all my old clothes that I don't like anymore. And learn how to speak Spanish. Like it's something you can just check off a list. You can't just check off change my life on a checklist. Find a man. It doesn't work like that. But we decide we want to change our lives and we put it on a to-do list like it's something you can just do between coffee and a shower. And when I speak to women who really want to do this work and they're so committed to this work, the biggest difference between those who shift at hyperspeed and the ones who do this for a very long time and see a very slow evolution are the ones who they go full immersion. They're like, this is not just, I'm going to change my life between coffee and a biscuit. It's this year, this life is changing. Like my whole life is about this until it's changed. If we want to change things on a global scale in our life, if we want to change things on a global scale, it's got to be more than an afterthought. It can't just be the thing you think you've got to do. It's not going to work that way. So how I really came to having a life that was entirely different is I dedicated my life to my life. It was like I decided who I wanted to be from this point forward, and that became the container for my life. That became the standard for my life. That became the way I was going to live my life from that point forward. It wasn't something I was going to do and then I'd be done. It was a journey I knew would be a journey of evolution and growth over a lifetime. You'll often hear me talk about a mountain with no peak. So I know that this life that I'm on, it's a journey with no peak. There is no end, right? And we don't know when the end is. And quite frankly, when we get there, we probably wish we had a little more time. So this isn't something you're racing to the top. This isn't something you're trying to get to. This is the walk of a lifetime. It's like there's a moment in my life where I realized that the honor of my life was to live my life for my life. It's like the most simple concept, but like the journey is life itself. This is the prize. This is it. So what's the point of life? What's the point? The point is to love it. The point is to live it. This is the walk. This is it. And everything you do is a part of this story, this walk, this movie, this journey, this thing that is your life. Like, that's it. But we're chasing something. When we become smarter, when we become more confident, when we become more magnetic, when we become more attractive, when we become... But it's not about when we become. It's about the becoming. It's the becoming itself. It's the journey. But we're so busy trying to become, we're not being. The thing with being magic on legs is you're so aware of life right now that you're not chasing something. Becoming an incredible human being isn't a pipe dream. Becoming a human being isn't something only some people can do in their lifetimes. But it's got to become your craft. It's got to become your walk. It's got to be your way. So the way I walk, the way I do life is this alpha femme way. She who leads herself. Radical self-responsibility, radical self-ownership, in the honor of my actual life that I was given, being the best possible human being now. Because this is the becoming. This is it. And it could end at any moment. And then I would realize that this had been it. So the work I do with women, especially in the Femme Fatale program, is an understanding of the wisdom and how we actually achieve wisdom in our lives. Because body and soul wisdom is completely different than intelligence. It operates on two very different fields. Intelligence is of the mind. It's a thing where you get it in your mind and then you think you know. But wisdom is beyond that. It's like there's intelligence and wisdom. There's information and integration. Two completely different forms of intelligence. Like the smarts and the wise. It's such a deep inner feeling to be a wise woman. But wisdom comes with deep realizations. Intelligence comes with information. They're both very good and very important in our lives. Yet we underplay wisdom so much. We applaud intelligence. We applaud certificates hanging on a wall. But we don't go on a journey through wisdom, through and into womanhood. When I really took the time in my life to decide that this life I was going to live was going to be a journey into womanhood, that I was going to understand what it really meant to be a woman, I realized how very little we're actually taught in how to do this. We're little girls. We're taught to apologize just to not get in trouble. We're taught to get along with people, even though they're not very nice to us. We're taught to be polite and not talk about certain things, that it's not right to talk about money, that it's not right to be too proud or too loud or too whatever it is. We're taught to never be touched like that. And then all of a sudden, we're wondering why our marriages aren't going so well, our sex lives aren't fully self-expressed. We're surrounded by people who aren't good for us that we're keeping around because we don't know how to say no. Where was the point in the middle where we were meant to learn the wisdom, to know the difference between being nice and being kind? The difference between being accommodating and being radically self-responsible for our lives. Where do we learn the body wisdom to sit with discomfort when we're letting someone else down, but it's right for us? Where do we learn the body wisdom to not just say yes because we feel like we need to say yes because it looked like it was going to be yes, and now we really don't want it to be yes, but we feel like we have to because we made it look up until now like it was going to be yes, so I guess we'll just go with yes when it's no. Where do we learn the body wisdom to understand that two people can shine? It isn't a fight. And that I'm sorry as an adult actually doesn't help much. I'm sorry as a young child gets you out of everything. I'm sorry as an adult doesn't mean much at all. Where is this transition into womanhood? There's no rite of passage. There's no deep emotional journey. There's no soul understanding of the deepening of who we're being. There's no pride for our gender and who we're becoming. There's no honor for our bodies and what they're capable of. There's just a general, you should know better now. At the very best, we get a sex ed class. I don't know about you, but I found out about STDs before I ever found out about orgasm. We aren't taught what it is to be a happy, fulfilled, proud, strong, confident, capable woman. Why? Isn't this the most important thing on this planet? Because we walk our lives and we feel like there's something missing. And it feels like there's always something missing. Like, I don't know. There's just something missing. You know, I just want something and there's something else in my life and I know it and I feel it and yet don't know what it is. Of course you don't know what it is. The whole world in womanhood is wondering what the heck it is that we're meant to be doing here because we are playing so small, it's terrifying. And we're wondering why the world is evolving in all kinds of different forms of intelligence. Like computers can do what most humans can do, yet humans aren't evolving. The curriculum for being a human is exactly the same as it was 100 years ago, but computers can do what humans do. Why aren't we evolving? Because what it would take to evolve is the actual realization that where we need to evolve is different. We've got intelligence at our fingertips. Why is that still what we're focusing on? You can Google any answer you want. Why are we trying to learn things by heart instead of understanding our heart? Why is it still about what we can memorize instead of what we can internalize? Why aren't we, as a world, moving into a different direction? Is because we are not even aware that we should. We're not even aware that we could. We're not even aware that it's missing until someone says it and we're like, it is so missing. But then you can't put it on a to-do list. You can't say, oh yes, okay, completely transform the feminine wisdom on the planet between coffee and a biscuit. It's got to be the journey of a lifetime. If we're gonna leave a legacy beyond the one that we have, it's gotta be a common decision to say, we rise now. We learn this now. This information, this journey, the one of becoming a woman, it changed everything for me. Because until I claimed this identity, there was always something missing for me. There was something missing in the intimacy of my relationship with myself. Always something wrong with me, always something missing. Of course there is. I went from being a kid to a woman with no transition. In everything in life, we give ourselves transition. Give yourself a moment. You're moving into a new house. You need a transition period. Give yourself a moment. You're moving into a new job. Give yourself a moment. You're starting at a new school. Give yourself a moment. Give yourself a moment. You're going into teenage while your mom's going into menopause and the whole world is going haywire and you don't know what the heck is going on and no one's giving you a moment. They're giving you a hard time because you've got a little bit too much of an attitude and a little bit too much of an emotional thing going on and you change and you're annoying and you need to pipe it down. Meanwhile, your whole body's changing and no one's talking about it. And then you're a grown woman and you feel like something's missing. No wonder. Something's missing. But you know what the most incredible thing is? It's never too late. You can transition whenever you want. You can give yourself that rite of passage because you're a woman now. You can honor that whenever you're ready. Whenever you want that journey, you can have it. And we see journeys. We see women go on journeys in the movies. You know, you watch something like Eat, Pray, Love, and the woman, she goes and she leaves her marriage because she obviously went from being a girl to a woman and without even realizing, went into a marriage that she didn't even know herself in, got completely swallowed alive by this marriage. She didn't even know who she was. And then all of a sudden she's praying to God on the ground for a life that means something, and she decides to go find herself. And her whole life becomes about her. And in the space of months, she becomes a new human being. Magic on legs. Do you need to leave your marriage? No. But you're going to need to leave the little girl behind, though. Because you're still operating that way. No matter how old you are, if you haven't transitioned into womanhood, I guarantee you she runs the show most of the time. She's the one who's scared of failure. She's the one who's scared of people. She's the one who's scared to love. She's the one who's scared to give herself a beat. She's the one who's afraid to go and really, truly learn new things. She's the one who's afraid she can't change. She's the one who's afraid her dreams will never come true. She's the one. She's the one who loves her friends but can't stand when they do better than her. She's the one who loves her mother but can't stand the way her mother mothers. She's the one who loves her daughter but can't stand the way her daughter won't let her mother her. She's the one who can't quite be with other women fully. Who believes that no one really, really, really wants her there. Not really, really. She believes people, they care, but they don't really care. She's the one who thinks she's got to impress everybody and do everything for everyone, because if she stops for 1 minute, she'll be old news. She's the one who's looking for something, constantly looking for something. Because something's missing, and she looks at other women and she imagines they have it all together, because she must be the only person in the world that doesn't have it all together. She's the one that hasn't yet become the woman. And there is no too late. You're alive. Your heart's beating in your chest. You have now. But this has got to become your priority in your life. Like, you get to say, and I'm not saying it's the priority for like January. It's January. I'm going to become a woman. This is a mountain with no peak. This is your decision to be one of those women who lives a life where at the end of it, you're like, that was amazing. Instead of, God, I wish. It's a decision that you make that you're going to prioritize the actual life that you're living, but we are riddled with coding. Coding is like, for those of you who've never had a conversation like this, I know a lot of you have been in conversations like this, and you know, you kind of know, and you know in your head. Some of you have touched this a little bit. You've done some trainings. You've done a week-long training somewhere, and it changed something. It transformed something inside of you. Some of you may have been doing this work for so long and it's totally integrated, and when I'm walking into this part, you're like, I've been living my life with this in the forefront of my life, and thank you for talking about this. But the bottom line is that wherever you are on this spectrum, there's a deepening and there's an availability for more, because it's for all of our lives. It's all of our lives. We have coding and we have wounds that are so deep. Even the people we love the most drive us crazy because we can't handle our own feelings around them. Triggered by your best friend when she gets the job of her dreams because your job isn't all that great. Triggered by your coach when she makes this much money, or your client when she makes that much money, or your sister because she's younger or prettier, or her kids are doing well, or triggered by your mother, triggered by your sister, your aunt, your cousin, triggered by strangers on the internet, unable to just be with other women because something inside hurts. That is not the grown-up version of you. That's not it. And I've been there, and it ate me alive inside. And I felt guilty and I felt ashamed of who I was, because I was like, what is wrong with me? When is this gonna stop? I felt so ashamed of who I was. Every time I did that, I couldn't stop it. Because it was not something I was doing in my head, and there was no intelligence that was going to give me the answer on how to stop. This was a body wisdom transformation. It needed to shift, like I needed to grow up. How do you do that unless you give it your all? How do you do that unless it's everything in your life? It's the focus of your life. But can you imagine how cool it would be, though, to make your life about you from this point forward? And I know you've made your life about so many other people, and you may have found that super noble until now. You might be like the doting wife who's done everything. Even when your husband isn't giving you the magic that you want, you're trying so hard to be a good wife. And you've done for your kids, God, have you done for your kids? You're the one. You're the one. You know them more than anybody else on the planet. You've done everything. You've given everything. And you wonder if that was even a good idea in the end. You've done it. You've given it. You've made choices that have left you feeling depleted, angry, bitter. But the thing is, it was good for them. So somehow there's the consolation of that. How much longer, though? Until you get to just live a life that you love, and I promise you, they will be okay. And if you have daughters, they need you to be happy. Because you're the evidence of womanhood. So when they're seeing you past the point of needing you to feed them, they're watching what womanhood looks like. Are you happy with what you're showing them? Do you want them to do this, what you're doing, how you're living? Is this the model? Sometimes you're like, God, please don't do what I've done. Trust me when I tell you, go live your life. Be wild, be free. Yet, they don't do what you tell them to. If you have older daughters, you know by now, they don't listen to what you tell them. You've got to become the woman of your dreams. For you, for them, for the world. This standard in womanhood for me is for me because it has changed my life. But it impacts the people around me so intensely, it is incredible. The woman that I am is limitless in what I can do for my family without any detriment to me whatsoever. Only just overflow because I go me first. Since I have gone me first, I have had the resources, the energy, the connections, the everything to help everyone without it taking from me and then the world. Because modeling this and creating this and having a world be able to look at that and go, whoa, that's possible. That is world changing for me, for you, for us. This is the standard of womanhood. And I've never felt more powerful in all of my life. If you have a son, you are showing your son how to treat a woman. Overgive. He expects a woman to overgive until she's bitter, to forget herself and her love for him. You're holding space for your son to be a man. You're being a muse so your daughter can be magic on legs. Or you hold the mother identity your entire life. And we mother everybody. When we are taught to be women, the identity, the only one that we have been taught is the mother energy. And the mother energy is literally like 2 universes apart from the magnetics and energetics of a woman. Because mothering is actually a masculine energy. Just blew my mind. P.S. You'd think like the most feminine energy thing is the mother. No. The mother is actually the masculine part of the woman. You're either the mother or the muse. You're the artist, the magic on legs, sexy, sensual, connected, powerful, pleasure-filled, blissful, magnetic woman, or you're the mother. Put the glass down, put your shoes away, put those shoes away. I've just cleaned the floor. Put that back, put that down. Have you done your homework? Why is that still on the floor? Put that down, sit down, come here. Don't walk away from me when I'm talking to you. Sit down. Think that's womanhood? Mm-mm. Because I said so? Or else? You think that's feminine energy? We're the mother, or the muse. And the fact is, we mother everybody. You mother your mother. Try to tell her what to do, try to get her all organized, try to tell her what you should and shouldn't do. You mother your husband. You should shave his beard. His hair's a little too long. Is he wearing that shirt? You mother your kids. You mother your friends. You tell your friends, you do not go back with that guy. Do you hear me? He is not good for you. We mother everybody. It's the way of the woman. Be everybody's mother. This is not motherhood. It's womanhood. We're missing the mark. For centuries, when you think of like the evolution of women, the history of women, it's like women's circles. Connected women building tribes together, coming together in deep sisterhood. We have a deep sisterhood wound right now because it's one for like all for our own selves in competition with everybody, because if she has more likes than you on Instagram, because if she's prettier than you, because if she's richer than you, ça fait mal. We can't handle it. The womanhood is the thing we all crave. When you step into that identity and you start to take it on as you, and you start to integrate this, not just like in your mind, not just like, oh, this is a brilliant concept. Thank you so much for this 1 hour training, Melanie. I am now a woman. It doesn't work like that. I wish it worked like that. What this is going to do is it's going to open the, oh my gosh, I've been living in the twilight zone. Now there's this opportunity for transformation and for integration. Today you got information, and it's enough to go, right. It's not enough to change your life, but it's enough to change the trajectory of your life. And that is a really awesome thing. So when I run these master classes, I can't get in close enough with you to make a transformation of your life. Like, I can't walk with you like that, but I can change the trajectory. I can be the voice when you find yourself mothering your mother that goes. I can be the voice when you're about to tell your man tonight that he needs to not leave his boots there or something, and you feel his contempt for you and you feel his disconnection from you and you realize that your intimacy levels are non-existent, that possibly there's another way. And that is enough to change the trajectory of your life. And if I can do this in this masterclass, then I've done something really good. You know, working with me, there's so many different levels. I have high-level containers where women come into my world one-on-one, and I help them hold the energy of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people needing them, expecting from them, pulling on them so that they don't fall into masculine energy. Some of the most incredible women leaders you'll ever see, and we do the work so that they don't become masculine in the process. Because when you look at the world right now, the leaders, they're in masculine energy most of the time. You see a powerful woman in power, she's in masculine energy. Because we've been taught that's the way we get respect around here. It's how we get respect around here. Act like a mother to everybody. There's more. There's so much more. Feminine energy is the magic we're made of. It's the magnetic magic. People do the thing because they're inspired and because they desire, not because you said so. Around you, people rise. Around you, people flourish. You are Mother Nature. You are the one that blossoms people, like people rise around you. Instead of being mothering, telling people what to do, putting them in a box, people blossom around you. They're like, oh, you're like a breath of fresh air, a drink of water. I can't get enough of you, feminine energy. We get to change we get to flip the script, we get to change the paradigm, we get to go in a different direction, but we've got to make a choice. But things are going to be different. And we can't come about it with masculine energy. So now this is what most women do. Oh my God, you're right. I am like that. Okay, what do I do? Masculine energy. Oh my God, I've been like this my whole life. If it's too late, can I not change? Masculine energy. What if I never change? Masculine energy. Well, I don't know how to change that. I've been like that my whole life. Masculine energy. Well, it's not my fault. My mother, masculine energy. I have no choice. I've been a single mom all my life. Masculine energy. Relax. I know how it felt when I first started this conversation, started feeling so mad about everything and so mad at myself and so mad at all the relationships that I had potentially broken by not knowing this and all the pain I had caused and all the frustration I had caused. I was so mad at myself because I started this journey and understanding this journey sitting in the front seat of my car after going bankrupt, alienating my family, breaking up with a partner I'd been with for 7 years, no money, no passion, no purpose, no joy, no friends, no nothing, sitting in the front seat of a car, understanding, learning, leaning into what I had no clue about that had just wrecked my life. I was not quite pleased. But if that had been the energy I decided to receive that information in, I would not be sitting here in front of you right now. It's got to be an awakening, not a slap in the face. See this as today was the day. You were today years old when you found out this is how you get to live, instead of you should have known. You should have known will cost you the rest of your life. And you should have known is mothering energy. You mother yourself. You should know better. You should have known. Mothering, 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 mothering. You don't need this archetype to run your life. She gets to be there. She just can't be your entire identity. You're so much more than that. You're an artist. You're wise, you're deep, you're magnetic, you're sexy, you're sensual, you're alive. All of that goes on the back burner when mother comes out. And this mothering energy, it's like life force cutting because there's nothing else. If it were part of a plethora of other vibes you had, that'd be okay, but it is the running commentary in most of our lives until we realize there's another way. And it's the way you're trying to change your life is by mothering yourself. Now, this is the year, young lady. Listen up now. You have got to get your act together. You got to get yourself a man. You aren't getting any younger here. You got to patch things up with that husband of yours, and he's got to step up. You got to get things figured out with your man right now. And like you're not looking the way you used to look. You got to wash your face at night, and you're going to start drinking more water and having some veggies. What's one of those things those people are doing, those juice cleanses? You got to get one of those, and you need a new wardrobe. Get yourself something pretty this year. You mother yourself. You wonder why you're not turned on, switched on with yourself, excited to go change your life. Like, the conversations you have with yourself are like, listen here. What about the magic? Where's the magic? And I know that when I'm saying this, you're like, hey. I know you can feel it, can't you? I felt it. I felt it right away when I realized I was living without it. And the minute I saw, I was like, I want it. Oh my God, I want it. Just the desire for it changes everything. When's the last time you've wanted something? Not because if you don't have it, you're going to not be able to eat or you're going to look bad, but because in your belly there's a stirring like, ooh, I want that. When's the last time you felt that? That's how I felt about understanding these energetics. It was like, I couldn't help it. There was immediately a way I could tell I could be. It was immediate. The pathway of what my life might be like was immediately there in my body to feel. I could feel it. Just take a second, just for fun. And feel the way your body feels with the wisdom that there's another identity in there. Quiet your mind. Just with the knowing that there's space for another version of you. Feel your body. Can you feel? Just like relax into it with nothing to do, nothing to change. Can you feel there's another presence there? She's got to be called. Just reminded that there's more, because she is the most powerful one you've got. She's been able to survive trapped inside of you for as many years as you've kept her there, and she's still there. With one conversation, you'll feel her. Just a little bit. Like, I'm here. And you've had glimpses in your life of seeing this woman. Maybe more so in your teenage years. You remember a deep desire for something. You desire wanting to be free. You desire wanting to figure stuff out. You remember desiring to be touched. You remember desiring to be free, to break the rules, to live. You had dreams, like, remember that? Everything else is just time. The only thing between her and now is time. She's still there. She was there the day you were born, and she'll be there the day you pass. The question is, how much time are you going to spend with her from this point forward? Magic on legs. You know what that looks like. You see it in certain women and you're like, oh gosh, I wish I had that confidence. I wish I had that freedom. I wish I had that sensuality. I wish I had that power. I wish I had that. You do. We all have it. Womanhood. It is the most beautiful thing we were ever given. And we weren't taught how to use it. But we have it. And there's all the time in our life left. And we're the youngest we'll ever be. This, for me, is the most powerful thing in everything I've learned. When you say she who leads herself isn't leading more of a masculine energy, leading is a masculine energy when the only reason you walk is so people follow. But leading just means walking. It just means you embodying yourself and doing what you've got to do for you. The beautiful thing with leadership, and this is such a powerful piece of the Alpha to Alpha program, that's actually something I teach later in the year, is that we have this thought like we need to be so sure of where we're going, and we need to be able to express to people where we're going, and we declare a lot of things. You tell people, this is the year I'm going to do this, and this is the year I'm going to do that, and you're declaring these big things, and then you fail, and you don't do them, because declaring it doesn't make it true. But when you look at leadership, if you look at a wolf pack, for example, it's like the wolf pack, the leader of the wolf pack doesn't say, all right, people, listen up. Getting a vibe for some fresh water. I'm thinking 2 miles down there's a water hole. I'm going to start walking that way if you think I'm the right leader for you. Follow me. Got your back. There's no conversation. Leadership is an energy. When one wolf walks and the others feel that wolf is going somewhere they want to go, they follow. Leadership is an energy. And it's, I'm going to the water because my soul knows where it is. And then everybody goes, that wolf knows where it's going. The wolf that needs to rally the others, come on, I promise, I know where it is. I know I was wrong last time, but I'm pretty sure I know where I'm going this time. They don't do that. There's an inner knowing and a walk, and that is leadership. Leadership is you walk. Other people following you is their decision. But when it happens, you are a leader, and it happens in the energetic field. The ones who've got to declare it and rah about it and talk about it and make promises about it, that is the masculine paradigm leadership. But what I have found and how I've built this incredible legacy is I've literally just done the work for me, and the world has conspired to come along on the journey with me. I have led myself in my relationship to the point of having the best relationship I've ever known to be possible. And now I have this relationship. People desire to learn relationships with me. I don't have a 10-page website or an education in reading 10 million pages of millions of things to get a doctorate, to be told that I'm wise enough to teach about psychology of relationships. No, I have an extraordinary relationship. And I've held this standard so strong that people have calibrated to my understanding and my presence, and the women in my world calibrate to extraordinary relationships. I've healed my relationship with money, and I've held the frequency, and people have calibrated to my power and my understanding around money. I just walked. I did this with social media. I did this with business. I did this with money. I did this with men. I did this with myself. I just walk, and I talk about my walk. And I tell you what I'm doing. But there's no pushing, there's no promising, there's no coaxing, prodding, manipulating for you to please trust me because you should. This is your walk. You can come into my life. I offer a free masterclass every month, and I over deliver. Like, I make sure that no one on this planet is left without information, because information can change the trajectory of your life. And if I can be responsible for just a little piece of awareness that helps change the trajectory of your life, I feel very happy. But transformation and integration, that's your walk. I can't do that for you, but I can co-create it with you. If I'm walking and you walk with me, we change. And I've seen this hundreds of times over. Marriages transformed. Relationship with children transformed. Relationship with self, confidence, communication, courage, business, passion, purpose, freedom, financial freedom, everything. My only job is to do it with as much depth and power as possible. That's it. And the fact is, anything we want to do in this life, and we want to use feminine energy to do it, it's this magnetizing thing. The muse energy. The woman who dances makes you want to dance. The one who dances freely with her soul on fire, with the wind in her hair and the peace in her heart, and you watch her dance and you say, I want to dance like that. Not because she said you should dance like this, but because she dances. And as she dances, she lights up a part of you that's like, gosh, I wish I could dance like that. The woman who paints and creates the most beautiful art, and you watch her and you say, gosh, I want to be a woman who paints. The woman who speaks and the whole world responds, and you can feel the shifts, and you say, gosh, I wish I could speak like that. It's an art. Being a woman is a work of art. But we're so busy being the logical description of the woman. The one who gives to everyone, the one who mothers everyone, the one who makes sure everybody's okay, the one who overgives. We're so busy being the logical explanation of the woman that we miss out on the work of art. You could decide that this is your journey. You could decide today, and there are so many journeys that you can take. There's so many paths that you can take. But this one is one that I love. And the women who take this course with me, and I have had women of all ages. I've had teenagers take this course with me, women in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, and across the board. I have had the most, there's no words to describe the messages I receive from this program, this Femme Fatale program. The only feedback I've ever gotten that made me feel like, is the feedback where women said, I just can't imagine what my life would have been if I would have known this before. I wish we knew this before. I wish I had known this before. I wish this work were a part of like the curriculum of life is what I wish. I wish there was somehow a way that the whole world could take this process. But the thing is, and what I realize is you got to choose it. And it comes to you when you're ready. If you don't find it, it finds you, and it comes when you're ready. And I've had to make peace with that, because there's so much in my life I would have changed if I'd have known this sooner. but also knowing it when I knew it and really doing the work, it's changed my life. I have the most incredible community. I post on my Facebook all the time. I post on my Instagram all the time. I live my life for me, for you, for us. I hold a really high standard of beauty, of intimate connection with everything I do in my life, of intentionality. I live at a really beautiful standard to inspire you to see the beauty in the little things in your life, and the cup of tea and the snowflakes that fall on the, like, if you follow just my life, you just be in my world, you'll be reminded of this masterclass. Honestly, you will. I can't promise you that you will have the wherewithal to change everything overnight, because it didn't happen like that for me. So I can't make that promise for you, but I know that it can change the trajectory of your life just being in my world. And if there's a piece of you that's like, of all the things that actually matter to me in my life, of all the things I'm pulled to think I need to learn, like I want to learn how to be a social media expert, and I want to learn how to be good in business, and I want to learn how to be all the things. Fundamentally, the issue is that deep inside, there's a question of whether or not you're going to be able to do it. A question of not whether or not you're worthy to do it. A question of whether or not you're the only freaking person on the planet that can't have the things. That you somehow missed the good enough train. You're comparing yourself so much with other people, it sucks your life force energy. You're manifesting the opposite of what you want because you don't know how to handle your emotional intelligence. You work yourself to the bone because you're still in masculine energy paradigm. There's a part of you that really knows, like, I think this is the thing that's the gateway to all the things. I realized something. We really have inside of us a strong connection to money, like money makes something worth it or not worth it, but we're willing to give our time to anything. You know, oh, it's free, I'll do it. But, oh, it requires money. Oh, no, I can't do that. Sometimes, I don't know how this happens, but this is very masculine energy. We imagine that money is actually a more important resource than time. You can make more money. So it's like, we're not honoring the time we've got, but we honor the money. It's flip-flopped. People ask me all the time, if I were to take a program with you, like any program, where would I start? The energetics of feminine energy for me is far, far beyond. Like, this is the core of all of my work, is the work that you learn with me in Manifest and in Femme Fatale. But Femme Fatale is the one where it's you. You reclaim your womanhood. It is a rite of passage for you to start living your life in honor of your life. It changes your life. So I'm not offering you a program to come learn about feminine energy. I'm offering you the decision to change the course of your life and to make a different choice about how you lead yourself, and to make a different choice about how you see the world and how you see yourself and how you interact with yourself and how you respond with other women and how you trust yourself and how you process emotions. In Femme Fatale, I teach you how to process difficult, hard, heavy emotions so that you can actually transmute them into powerful, positive force energy in your body. We're going to go through old wounds, coding the motherhood wound that runs very deep in the sisterhood wound like we have never done before. I'm going to teach you communication skills in a way that will change everything in your life. I'm going to teach you wisdom. How your body actually works and responds to masculine energy. How to make sure your cup is overflowing so you don't choose from a place of lack. How to follow your desire, your bliss. How to become the kind of person that can manifest the life that she wants. How to process difficult emotions. Not bypass them, not squish them and push them under a rock, not feel guilty for it, not pretend they're not there. Actually process them in feminine power. This is like the course that changes everything. Money is such a powerful force on the planet. And we have been taught to operate with money in a masculine energy paradigm. So even in the way that we understand money and what we think we need to do for money, it's very much in the masculine energy. So some women choose to do money work with me first. And then when they do femme fatale, they're like, oh my God. 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 It all makes sense. Some women do femme fatale first, and then they do the money stuff, and then they're like, oh my God. 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 The thing is, when you understand your emotions and the energetics of feminine power, like in my brand, this is a business that I run where I literally just have conversations, relationships with people. It's all energetics. It's the inner working, it's understanding manifestation, my energetic match, really creating incredible manifestation in my life, learning, walking the walk of everything that I teach. So feminine energy is like, we live beautiful lives. There's so much freedom to create happiness and joy, and so much power in the business, and so much, like, this is a business that's family first. It's important for us that families work well. It's important that we're there for the birthdays we want to be there for, and the family dinners, and the, like, what's important, like, that all matters so much. And everyone gets to live a connected life with the people that they love, and they get to navigate their lives the way they want to navigate their lives. And this business, it works. So the feminine energy, there's something so magical about it. And it translates in all areas of life. But honestly, it's got to start somewhere. It starts with me. It starts here, and then it ripples. But you clean it up inside of you first. Are you right now speaking from masculine or feminine or both? So in masterclasses, it's ebb and flow, because when I'm just speaking with you, I'm in feminine energy. When I'm making offers and I'm explaining what everything is, sometimes it's some in masculine, and then like when I've got to do something, when I've got to explain something, sometimes it's very clear in masculine, but then I'll go back into my feminine. It's a dance. Now, tomorrow, I've got an incredible visualization for you in store. Tomorrow's going to be a really beautiful session. I have some beautiful processes for you tomorrow. They're going to be really beautiful. What I want to give you before we end today is this. Magic on legs means that when people are around you, you raise the bar of what it means to be alive. Not because you did anything for anybody. A lot of times women think in order to be loved, we've got to do things, and we overgive to the point of bitterness and sacrifice. And the fact is, what makes people feel happy and alive is being around people who are actually sound, energetically sound, powerful, happy. Like, our energy inside of our body, it resonates, it radiates. It's the most beautiful thing. It's like an extension of magic that we offer the world when we're in a good place. The vibe that we emit on the planet when we're powerful is just this clean, beautiful frequency. That's what we're leaving behind, a trail of magic everywhere we go. If you can imagine your heart in all of its light, in all of its purity, in all of its bliss, radiating a frequency of just magic. You could imagine what a woman looks like when she's just magic on legs. Like, that's all it is. We're just a walking vibrational entity. So what's the trail of magic we leave behind? So this work is so powerful because we don't want to spend our entire life over giving. We don't want to spend our entire life over giving. We don't want to spend our whole life depleted and giving from an empty cup to try to make other people happy. That doesn't balance the world out, but we do this. We say, I don't really want to do this, but I'll do it for you, and then we say, I don't really want to do this, but I'll do it for you, and then if you can imagine that light that was so bright and that was a frequency of pure energetic bliss, and the frequency darkens and shrinks, and we become just human. A human that's overgiven, with no energy, with just emotions that we don't really know how to hold, a little bit of sadness, a little bit of this. So it's actually a better gift to the world, to our family, to our men, to our friends, that we are self-expressed, fulfilled, expanded, alive. Like, that's the greatest gift we can give. So if you've ever felt like if it was a selfish thing to do things that make you happy, If you've ever felt like it wasn't right for you to really genuinely let yourself be proud of the things you've accomplished, if you felt like it was vain to take care of yourself and look and say, gosh, I look beautiful today. If you felt like that wasn't okay, it wasn't fair, or it wasn't right, I want you to give yourself permission today to change that. And to say, when I see beauty in me, I give permission to my daughter to see beauty in her. I give permission to the women around me to see beauty in themselves when I see beauty in me. When I do things that make me happy, I radiate joy for me, for the people around me, for the world. I leave a frequency of magic behind me when I do things that make me happy and bring me pleasure. For me, for you, for us. My joy is good for me, the people around me, and the world. I want you to see that actually giving back to yourself is the greatest investment, because it's what makes you overflow with magic. And we don't have to worry about lack when we're a self-perpetual money, magic, bliss, love, passion generating machine. There is no lack. We are so magical. We are powerful beyond belief. It makes no sense. And I'm like bursting because there's so many things I want to tell you. Like if this were the Femme Fatale program, I'd be like, and blah, 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 blah. But I gotta like go just far enough that I don't go too far. But there are conversations I want to have with you to light your life on fire. Like, this is some next level magic that you're made of. I don't know if you know that. But let it be. Like, don't tame it. Don't tame the magic. It changes the world. And I know that, and for those of you who have sons, like, you show your son what a beautifully self-expressed, proud, capable woman looks like. Or else he will look for a mother. If he only knows the love of someone who doesn't trust, who's afraid for him, who does everything for him and not her, he will not. It helps him to see a woman in her power. It's good for him. He will become a stronger man if you're a woman. This work is the work of a lifetime. It's not like everything can change overnight, but the trajectory of everything can change overnight. This can have set in motion a new trajectory for yourself. You get to just see from this point forward like an opening for you. You get to just choose it. Like, today was the day that you made a different choice for the rest of your life. It gets to have happened today. You get to make that choice for you after everything you've heard today. And I know that there's a fear that we're going to shine a little too bright. And sometimes we're afraid that we're going to upset people and that people are going to think we're too much. And they're going to think, who are you to shine so bright? And why are you so happy about? And okay, we've had enough. And there will be those people. But the thing is, they will either change when they're surrounded by magic. If enough of us are brave enough to do it, one day they'll be like, wait a minute. Maybe I'm the one that isn't doing it right if so many other people are happy around me. We've got to change the standard. If it's odd for us to be self-expressed and happy, I think it's about time we flip the script, don't you? So when enough of us start to self-actualize, the women who are naysayers will say, I think I missed a really important train I'd like to hop on now, please. And the ones that are just craving more evidence that it's possible will be so grateful that you chose to rise. There are people who are bothered by me, and there always will be. There are people who will watch all the passion in my heart and the desire of my soul and my willingness to change the world, and they will be so bugged by that, they'll be like, but then there's the women who are like, thank you for going first. I never even thought of this. I never even had that perspective. Thank you for doing the work so you could bring me something that might have taken me years to learn if I hadn't joined a 5-day free thing with you. Thank you for being willing to go first. Thank you for being brave. Thank you. Thank you. I get these messages every day. And they are worth a million times the people who are annoyed that I'm a little too happy. Don't tame your magic because you're afraid people can't handle it. Believe in people. I didn't really believe in this work. I thought it was too good to be true. And now I'm a living example of it. People change. Be the reason the world changes, not the reason it stays the same. So I hope you enjoyed today's session. If you want to do something for yourself today, a really powerful journaling prompt, a really powerful question would be, if I believed my life could completely pivot over the course of my lifetime, how would I live today? Not how can I change my life today? It's too big. If I believed that my life was going to pivot, it was inevitable that my life was going to pivot in this lifetime and I was going to be one of those women, and I believe that that was true, then how would I live today? You'll be surprised. The woman that has the answers, she already lives inside of you. I just want to help you bring her out. I want to teach you how to talk to her so you can access your own body wisdom, because she's there. Your soul wisdom, your body wisdom, you have more deep soul life transforming intelligence coursing through your body than you could ever imagine. It's just untapped. I just want to tap it so it can flow out of you. So sit with yourself, light a candle, make yourself a cup of tea, sit curled up, journal, think, feel, and make one move in alignment with what you write on that paper. And let's see how you feel tomorrow. Thank you for being here with me. I'm so excited for tomorrow. The cherry on the sundae, the best part. Thank you for being here. I love you. You're beautiful. You smell nice. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.